Greetings and salutations, my name is Deltran, doing Fire Emblem Heroes. We're reviewing Clarisse. You can get your own Clarisse by participating in the Grand Hero Battle featuring the Sniper in the Dark. We'll review her stats, her default kit, how to use her in play, and how to cheaply and easily inherit some skills onto her to make her just a wee bit better. If you want to turn her into a beast for PvP offense, or turn her into a huge screw you guys for defensive teams, I got some links for you, but first, let's get her digits. So we can see here that her strength is good, but it's not the best out of archers. Her speed is good, but it's also not the best out of archers. Her defense is great, considering she's an archer, but she's outclassed by Gordon, not like you ever see him. And her res is actually okay for an archer as well, but notably Viren and Niles really trounce her in this department. Her defense and hit points combined make it so that she could take a hit, but she's not any kind of a tank, of course. So, I mean, her stats aren't really worth talking about, but misery loves company, and with her default kit, everybody's invited to the pity party. Clarisse is a debuffing machine. She's a dagger wielder with a bow, and that's the way you should approach her. Her default kit comes with her very own bow. It's inheritable onto others, but whenever she smacks a foe with it, all of the foe's friends within 2 spaces get a -5 to attack and speed through their next actions. Of course, it's effective against flying, as all bows are. She comes with Glimmer, which is not really that great for her. It does double her win ratio, regardless of whether she's 5 or 4 star, but it just doesn't do her any justice. Not to mention she comes with Poison Strike. Poison Strike is there for people who want to deal damage who can't deal damage. And she has Threat and Defense 3, which is also a great skill, but it's not great to have right on top of an archer, in my opinion. They benefit greatly from it, but it's much better to put it on someone who's a little thicker who can stand up there and apply it so that they can benefit from it, not necessarily be the grantor of said minus defense. So all of this combined means you can't treat Clarisse like Takumi or Braybo, Cordelia, and George, and a lot of people are going to make her a non-starter just because of that, but I think that's a mistake. Clarisse is here to re-even the odds in a PvP arena that's filled with plus attack and plus speed heroes and all kinds of horsey emblem buffs. I mean, she does have this strange niche where she makes other heroes look good. Whether you're bringing in a sword lord that's second fiddle to Ike, or the random number generator gods decide to give you a minus speed Nino, she's there to help flatten things out. You walk up to an enemy, tap them, they take true damage of 10, they take a debuff, all their friends take a debuff, and then they just start smacking you back like wet noodles, and your friends just walk right on up and just sort of break them without any real care in the world. And she's a part of the new meta that is trying to come about, where all of the buffs get removed, all of the debuffs get applied. It's something that has been there for a while, but everyone's been ignoring dagger users for the most part. So Clarisse is here to help try to bring that meta into play, so that into the spotlight. And I think to that degree, I think Clarisse does a really good job. Here we could see who we're winning against. And it's not every flyer either, which is a little disappointing. Usually you want your archer to be able to take out every single flyer that's on the field, but she's leaving a few on the table. As far as who knocks us down, we got ourselves a Hector, a Lind, and a Leo. I put him last, even though he's not last in the picture, because I feel a little embarrassed that Leo is one of the people who punks us down. Hector's no big surprise. We are at 11, 9, and 120 at 4 stars. For the rest of this, we're talking about the 5-star variant, which is 19 wins, 3 losses, 118 draws. And whenever you get attacked, she's 9, 11, and 120. However, she applies all of her debuffs onto everybody, 36, 1, and 103. Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, think about that for a second. Whenever she has all of her debuffs on everybody and she gets initiated against, there's only one person that kills her. And on top of that, she's built for this. This is what she does, guys. So if we just tweak her out just a little bit, we're going to get a lot of extra mileage on Clarisse, and she's going to help us usher in an age where one-hit kills just don't happen. Not to mention, this really screws with people's calculations whenever they come up with their defensive teams and whenever they bring things into PvP arena. So I think that Clarisse is not going to turn a lot of heads as far as raw damage output, but she's definitely going to have a place in a team. And if you don't have a good archer, honestly, you can turn her into a good archer very easily. So, you know, speaking of adding to her, Fury is a fantastic A slot for her, and she's a great Fury user. She doesn't care about the damage she takes after combat and increases her attack. It lets her take a few more hits in the beginning, although it's not like you're going to constantly use her to just take punches to the face, but she can take one at least, as long as it's the first one. If that's not necessarily something you're looking at, though, Darting Blow's good. It actually has a better kill ratio. Doesn't make her as strong necessarily as Fury does, but Darting Blow is a fantastic substitute. Now, I understand you're looking there and you see that 5, 8, and 127 for Fortress Defense 2, but hear me out. First of all, Fortress Defense 3 isn't going to get anything for you, which is great because that's only available on a 5-star Lucas. So on a 4-star Lucas, you can get Fortress Defense 2. Put that onto your Clarisse, and that 8, 5, 127 is raw. It's just right whenever you start. However, with all the debuffs applied, and whenever she has Glimmer applied, she just wrecks things. She is going to go ahead and take a couple hits for you. And honestly, spoilers, whenever you view the defensive video, you're going to see Fortress Defense come back again. Reciprocal Aid is something I recommend for her because either she's going to need those hit points to help block somebody so that she can debuff and make your team a lot better, or you're going to have to give those hit points up to someone else. So I recommend Reciprocal Aid, especially if you're going with the Fortress Defense 2 method, because then you could just leave her in place and she can just wall up or continue to penalize people. The choice is yours, and I think it's a really great one there. Otherwise, honestly, any buffing skill is probably a good one for her. So, if you could do me a favor, and if you're on mobile, rotate your phone. If you're on desktop, hit escape and click on that like button. It'll let me know that I gave you something to chew on, which is great. I hope I did. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and put them down in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to you. If you want to see how to make her into a PvP killing machine or how to make her a defensive dynamo, I got some links for you right now. Otherwise, thank you guys so very much. I do greatly appreciate it, and until next time, take it easy.